Alright guys, check it out. I just was wanting to make a video on the difference between the time it takes to charge up your car versus going and putting in gas in. I compare a bunch of numbers between average commutes, average miles driven throughout the year. Basically, I tried to just find out what the average car's miles per gallon were and things like that, and figure out how that compares to a Tesla when it comes down to charging time. So the results are actually pretty surprising. I expected the Tesla to be way behind when it comes to charging times. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little timestamp or whatever down here that shows what part of the movie or what part of the video you can skip to, so you can just get to the results. If you want to watch the entire thing, I'm gonna go over all the numbers and stuff like that. I'm a nerd. I like numbers, so I like to do things like that. But I really was surprised. So yeah, if you just want to skip forward to the very end where I show the comparisons, you're welcome to do so. Other than that, stay with me and enjoy. Okay, so like I said, I'm just trying to do an average of everything. I apologize if I'm looking away. I'm looking at the monitor right above me here, or right above the camera. So I tried to find out the average tank size. It varied between 12 gallons for a smaller car and 16 gallons for larger vehicles. And so I'm just going right in the middle with 14. And then the average car gets 24.9 miles per gallon as of 2016. Those are the most recent results that I could find. And I'm assuming that in this case, people fill up with a quarter tank of gas. I know some people go to the very bottom. Some people fill up a half tank. I'm just trying to keep it as fair as possible, and that seemed really reasonable to me. So 3/4 of a tank used, a 14-gallon tank, is 10.5 gallons used. 10.5 gallons times 24.9 miles per gallon gets us 261 miles per fill-up, not per tank, per fill-up. So the average is 16 miles each way on a commute, times 5 days a week, gets us 160 miles a week commuting. I extrapolated that out for the full year for a total of 8,320 commute miles throughout the year. We get 32 times that you'll need to fill up. Average miles driven throughout the year are 13,476. So when you take out commute miles, you're left with 5,156 miles a month on errands, road trips, whatever it may be. I'm just going to assume road trips. It gives the benefit of the doubt to the internal combustion engine vehicle that I'm going to be using for this comparison. In every scenario, I'm giving the benefit of the doubt to that vehicle. That way, I'm trying to keep it as fair as possible. I know I have a Tesla bias, so I'm trying to get rid of that and put that to the side. So that being said, the remaining miles after commuting is 5,156, like I just mentioned. Divided by 12 months gives us 429 miles a month on these trips here and there. So I was trying to figure out timing for when it comes to filling up. How long does it take? In my case, usually I notice the gas tank is low. I live pretty close to Costco, so I drive to Costco, fill up, and then come back home. I'm not going to use that because I don't think that's fair. I think a lot of people fill up on their way to or from work. So 5 minutes to get to the gas station, 2 minutes wait time to get to the pump. 3 minutes is what it took for me to swipe my card, get pumping, and fill the car. So with that 5 minutes to get there, and then the other 5 minutes to wait in line and fill up, I'm assuming 10 minutes per fill up. So in this case, we have 32 times that you have to fill up your gas tank, times 10 minutes is 320 minutes a year spent going to the gas station, swiping, filling up, leaving, just for commuting. And now we're gonna add in the other 429 miles a month. I'm again just gonna assume that we are going through doing a road trip, making it quick and simple. So I'm just assuming that it takes you 5 minutes to get to and from the gas station from the highway, plus 5 minutes to fill up, so 10 minutes for a fill up. So that puts us at 10 minutes a month for those fill ups, times 12 months gets us another 120 minutes. Plus the time filling up for commuting, 440 minutes total throughout the year spent fueling your gas car or diesel. So 7 hours, 20 minutes a year fueling. Again, I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the gas or diesel engine. So in my case, I'm using my 5-year-old Tesla that only has 250-mile range. Instead of fueling up at 25%, I'm just going to assume that we plug in every single night. This is totally not necessary, but I pull my car into the garage every night anyways. I think most people do. Maybe I'm wrong. So I pull the car in. It takes me less than 10 seconds to plug the car in. I'm just going to assume 10 seconds to make it a fair number. 10 seconds a day times every day that I'd be commuting, so 5 days a week times 52 weeks of the year is 43 minutes a year spent plugging in for commuting. Now road trips, they do take longer in a Tesla because you have to actually stop and charge. I found a place that's 430 miles from my house. I just chose randomly, so Mountain Pass, California. To do that is a 42-minute charge stop. If I did that every month, I'd be looking at 42 minutes times 12 months, or 504 minutes a year. Add that to commuting charge time, you get a total of 547 minutes a year, or 9 hours, 7 minutes, which is a whopping 107 minutes more per year charging your car than fueling up with gas, or 17 seconds a day. I just find this funny because most people I don't really think would think twice about 17 seconds a day, but when they make the assumption that, oh, they're gonna have to stop and charge, it becomes this huge ordeal. So for a 5-year-old car, we're looking at an extra 107 minutes per year spent charging. You can get cheaper cars that have longer range than my car, and you can spend quite a bit more and get even longer range. So I'm actually gonna compare those two as well. So a Tesla Model 3 long range gets 310 miles to the charge, charges faster than my car does, and obviously has longer range. I'm keeping everything else the same. We're going to the same place, same destination, takes the same amount of time for me to plug in every night. So we got the 43 minutes a year plugging in nightly for commuting. And then when it comes to the road trips, instead of being 42 minutes like my car, it's 29. So 29 minutes for that road trip times 12 months a year gets 348 minutes, plus the 43 is 6 hours, 31 minutes. You may have already noticed that means that the Model 3, for the average person, they spend less time charging already than fueling up throughout the year. So goodbye theory about charging taking forever. And then I threw in the 2019 long range Model S, 370 mile range. Again, all things the same. The stop to go down to Mountain Pass, California is 23 minutes. So for that one, a 23-minute stop, you're looking at 276 minutes spent throughout the year charging for the commute, plus the 43 minutes of charging for commuting. You're looking at 319 minutes, or 5 hours, 19 minutes. So we're already shaving off a decent chunk of time compared to the gas car when it comes to the entire year. Keep in mind that technology really is getting better when it comes to charging. We've been fueling up the exact same for who knows how many years. But I think about things like how much faster supercharging is getting. It is getting faster. The program that I use to look this over, A Better Route Planner, not affiliated, but I don't think that they're taking into account faster supercharging stations. Superchargers just got bumped from 120 kilowatts to 150. And then the newer ones go 250. So we're looking at even lower charge times than that. So I think it's safe to say that as of right now, for the average person, you're actually going to save time when it comes to overall time spent either fueling up your car or charging. And again, I know that there are outliers. There are going to be situations like people who own and drive a Prius. These cars go forever on a tank of gas. And then the flip side is you got somebody with a big gas guzzling truck and you might have to fill it more often. So there's going to be a lot of discrepancies depending on the person and the situation. In my situation, I spend way more time charging than I do fueling up. I'll be the first to admit it. I don't mind. It actually works out really well for me because when we go on trips, Usually it's about every 2 to 2.5 hours we have to stop for 20 or 30 minutes. And that gives us enough time to go to the bathroom, take my son out, feed him, change his diaper, things like that. So in my situation, it's great. People who drive less will spend even less time charging, but there really are just so many different points. So if you really think that charging is going to be an issue or that charging is going to take forever, I recommend taking a look at how much you actually drive and throwing in some numbers. Play with a better route planner. If somebody around you has a Tesla, see if you can borrow their car for a road trip, or maybe just to sit in it and see how long places take to get to. One common misconception that people have as well when it comes to charging is that they think, oh, you have to do all this planning because you have to find out where charge stations are. That's just not true. When you hop into a Tesla and you say, hey, I want to go to this destination, the car is going to go through and actually tell you exactly where you need to stop and for how long. There's no special stuff that you have to do. You just let the car work its magic, and it'll calculate how long you're going to have to stop at those places. It'll tell you beforehand. They'll recalculate depending on if you're being more efficient than it thought you were going to be or less efficient. I've had that happen a few times. It says that my stop's going to be 30 minutes and my stop ends up being 20. But there's just lots of different factors. It's not as easy as just saying, oh, it takes forever to charge up, or filling up with gas is so much faster, because as you've seen with these numbers, it's not always the case. I'll be back soon with another video. Hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a like, comment, subscribe, whatever you feel it deserves. Share it with somebody who might be interested in Teslas or might have concerns about how long it takes to charge and things like that. Other than that, feel free to message me if you have anything you want to see specifically. You can comment it. I'd really love to know what people are looking for in these videos, any special content you're looking for. And yeah, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Take care. Alrighty, so while I was editing that video together, I decided I should share a little something about me. So I really like to do an impersonation of Patrick Warburton, more specifically when he does the character Kronk. So for example, oh right, the poison for Kuzco, the poison designed specially to kill Kuzco. Kuzco's poison. That poison? Got you covered. Anyways, thanks again.